it's these military operations in order to eradicate Hamas. However, we can already raise the question that is it possible to have a military victory against such type of organization? Because this organization is in Gaza for more than a decade, for several decades. It enjoys as well popular support, especially after each combat operations of this type. So Gaza was not, Hamas was not defeated in the past. I'm not sure it will be defeated with such means, and especially with what the people of Gaza went through. Now, if we go beyond as well, let's say the official statements we have about these military operations, we can see a pattern. And it's, first of all, let's say a pattern of ethnic cleansing. We have systematic destruction, not just designed to destroy the military potential of Hamas. And even though Israel pretends that, well, it's densely populated, we have different proofs. And there were many examples of civilians being consciously or overtly killed while being identified as civilians. Recently, we had the case of these 15 paramedical workers who were killed, but we had previous cases as well with other paramedical workers, humanitarian workers, reporters. So there is a pattern as well.
Babies.
Yes, exactly. Children, hospitals. Yes, and we often hear claims that these hospitals were used as military headquarters by the Hamas, but all these claims have been debunked. So what some as well scholars showed in the scholars from UK, and there is a European network, through their research on the destructions, they show that there is a pattern, and it's not following the usual, let's say, patterns we could have with regard to military targets, to purely military targets. There is a systematic pattern, and the way it's designed is to make life unbearable for civilians and to push them. Most Gazans are there, but some already left, and it's understandable given the situation there. And if all Gazans leave, it will be ethnic cleansing. And in the end, it's more or less what had been already carried out during the 1948 war, and as well in the subsequent wars or occupations, trying to kick people out.
Well, Israeli soldiers admitted to destroying infrastructure to prevent the Palestinians from returning. How would you legally characterize such actions, and how do you interpret such statements?
When we talk about ethnic cleansing, it's, legally speaking, war crimes. We're talking about war crimes. Now, if you look at a more systematic pattern, the number of people being killed, the way it's conducted, and if you look at previous examples from the past as well, in the previous conflicts in Gaza or in Palestine as well, people would talk about a genocide. Should it be fully or not conducted? I mean, should the whole population disappear or not? It could be already considered as a genocide. Many scholars and NGOs as well made claims in this perspective. And there was as well, several NGOs as well sent legal communications to the International Criminal Court as well in this sense. So we are not, playing with words, because these words have meanings, a heavy meaning. But what is happening in Palestine, once again, it's very similar to genocidal practices or patterns we have observed in other conflicts or other regions of the world. And the way it's conducted as well, the types of buildings being destroyed. And the videos we can see from Israeli soldiers themselves, it's not just about, once again, carrying a classical anti-terrorist or anti-insurgency operations. We see that there is a pattern to eradicate a culture, to make life, let's say, unbearable there, to push people out. And once again, it can be considered as war crimes, and even to the extent of a genocide.
The Netzarim corridor and buffer zones are fragmenting Gaza. Do you see this as a de facto annexation in progress?
It could be. Already after the 7th of October, we heard, not just rumors, in fact, but we saw in the Israeli media or in Israeli social networks, people advertising for the future Gaza, where you would have like real estate projects. There were as well bills passed in dissent. There were as well Israeli politicians making comments or proposals in this sense. And if you look at who's in power, Mr. Netanyahu and his associates, And if you look especially at the policies followed in the past and still implemented, the policies designed by Mr. Smotrich and Ben-Gvir, and their positions as well, their usual positions and statements in Israeli politics, people would say it's scary. It's already there. We have like proofs or even statement of
Yes.
intents.